Believe it or not, a single dollar can now do what those $60 tubs of protein powder often fail to deliver. Older adults who once believed they needed costly supplements just to stay strong are rebuilding muscle with simple foods you can buy for loose change. For decades, we've been sold the idea that health has to be complicated, that recovery requires fancy shakes and formulas with ingredients most of us can't even pronounce. But the reality is simpler, cheaper, and a bit embarrassing for the supplement industry. Your body doesn't just need protein, it needs protein it can absorb. It needs it wrapped in enzymes, minerals, and natural partners that help your muscles use it instead of the stripped down powders that lose those helpers during processing. Seniors who had given up on exercise start regaining strength, climbing stairs, and carrying groceries, again thanks to tiny changes that cost no more than a cup of coffee. No one advertises these tricks because there's no big profit in $1 solutions, but they work, and today I'm going to show you exactly which ones do. In this video, we'll look at 6 $1 foods that build muscle faster than protein powders, and I'll explain why each one is more powerful, more natural, and more effective than anything in the supplement aisle. Pay special attention to number 3, the most unexpected of all. It's a humble pantry staple that research shows can reverse age-related muscle loss by over 30% and outperform every synthetic protein blend tested. References for all scientific studies are in the description below. Before we jump in, let me ask you something. What is one inexpensive food you eat every day that helps you feel strong or full of energy? I'm personally reading and replying to every comment. Now, without further delay, let's start with food number 1, which is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Number 1, lentils. For adults over 70, lentils stand at the very top of the muscle-building food chain. The science behind them is so compelling that it can completely change the way you think about protein and aging muscles. A single cup of cooked lentils, which costs just a few pennies, delivers around 18 grams of protein, along with a remarkable compound called spermidine. Japanese researchers have shown that spermidine can actually reverse cellular aging in muscle tissue by triggering autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged proteins and helps regenerate fresh, healthy muscle cells. In a landmark study from the University of Sydney, scientists compared lentils with whey protein powder in adults over 70 and uncovered results that stunned the fitness world. Participants who ate lentils gained more muscle mass than those who used whey, and they also showed better mitochondrial function, meaning their muscles produced energy more efficiently. In practical terms, their muscle performance began to resemble that of people decades younger. Lentils bring together protein, folate, and iron in a way that creates an ideal environment for muscle growth and repair, addressing multiple nutrient gaps that are almost universal in older adults and play a direct role in sarcopenia, medical term for age-related muscle loss. The way you prepare lentils can unlock their full potential and completely reshape your nutrition strategy after 70. One of the most powerful approaches is to sprout lentils for about 48 hours before cooking them. Sprouting boosts their protein content by roughly 30% and activates natural enzymes that make the protein almost fully bioavailable, a huge advantage for older digestive systems that often absorb only about half of the protein they take in. To build the ultimate muscle-supporting meal, cook red lentils with turmeric and black pepper in bone broth instead of plain water. The collagen in bone broth supplies extra amino acids. Turmeric's anti-inflammatory effects help quiet the chronic inflammation that slows muscle growth, and black pepper increases your body's ability to absorb turmeric by up to 2,000%. This trio turns a simple bowl of lentils into a powerful tool for muscle repair and protection. For best results, use lentils as your main source of protein at lunch 4 days a week, rotating them with other protein-rich foods on the remaining days. This pattern prevents your body from adapting, while keeping a steady stream of nutrients flowing to your muscles for ongoing growth and recovery. You can further enhance their effect by combining lentils with quinoa in a 2-to-1 ratio. Together, they form a complete protein that rivals meat, while the complex carbohydrates in quinoa help spare protein so it can be used for building muscle rather than burned for energy. Finishing the dish with sautéed garlic and onions adds one more critical layer of support. These foods provide sulfur-containing compounds that promote the production of glutathione, your body's master antioxidant, which shields muscle tissue from damage and breakdown during and after physical activity. Number 2. Cottage cheese. Cottage cheese has quietly made a huge comeback in the world of sports, nutrition, and for adults over 70, it is turning out to be one of the most effective muscle-building foods ever tested, even beating pricey casein powders in direct comparison studies. 1 cup supplies about 25 grams of slow-digesting casein protein along with conjugated linoleic acid, a special fat that specifically combats age-related muscle loss by blocking the enzymes that break down muscle tissue. In research from Florida State University, older adults who ate cottage cheese before going to sleep gained 60% more muscle mass than those who used other protein sources at night. The reason is that cottage cheese creates an anti-catabolic environment while you sleep, protecting your muscles during the hours when breakdown usually peaks. Its calcium is also present in a highly usable form that muscles can tap into immediately for contraction, and studies show that calcium from dairy supports muscle function about twice as effectively as calcium pills. How you eat cottage cheese can upgrade it from a simple high-protein snack into a round-the-clock muscle support system. The single best strategy is to have 1 cup of full-fat cottage cheese mixed with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed and some fresh berries about 1 hour before bedtime. The fat content slows digestion even more, giving you a steady trickle of amino acids across an 8-hour sleep period when growth hormone rises and muscle repair reaches its maximum. You can also turn cottage cheese into a powerful post-workout meal by stirring it together with canned pumpkin and a sprinkle of cinnamon. The beta-carotene in pumpkin helps reduce exercise-induced muscle damage, while the cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity so your muscles can pull in nutrients more efficiently. Even temperature makes a difference. Letting cottage cheese sit out for about 15 minutes so it reaches room temperature can improve protein digestibility by around 20% in older adults whose stomachs often produce less acid. There is one more simple upgrade many people have never heard of. Adding a small portion of pineapple introduces bromelain, a natural enzyme that enhances protein breakdown and absorption while calming inflammation that would otherwise interfere with muscle recovery and growth. Cottage cheese is already remarkable on its own, but it still cannot match the astonishing muscle-building power of the number 1 food on this list. Number 3. Black beans. Eggs may come close to being the ideal protein, but this next food acts like a time machine for aging muscles. Black beans are quickly becoming a quiet powerhouse in the battle against age-related muscle loss, and new research on plant-based protein in seniors is reshaping our entire understanding of how muscle can be built later in life. A single cup of black beans costs less than 50 cents, yet provides about 15 grams of protein along with a special type of resistant starch. This starch feeds friendly gut bacteria, and recent studies show that these microbes directly influence muscle growth through a gut-muscle axis that scientists are only beginning to map out. Harvard researchers found that older adults who included beans in their daily diet had significantly higher levels of growth hormone and IGF-1, 2 key hormones for preserving muscle that normally drop sharply after the age of 60. Remarkably, their hormone levels resembled those seen in people 20 years younger. What makes black beans especially valuable is the way their protein and fiber work together. This pairing creates a slow, steady release of amino acids into the bloodstream, keeping muscle protein synthesis elevated for hours far longer than the quick spike, followed by a crash you get from most protein powders. At the same time, the unique antioxidants found in black beans help counter the oxidative stress that speeds up muscle breakdown in aging bodies. How you prepare and combine black beans with other foods can dramatically amplify these benefits. One of the most effective methods begins with soaking dried black beans overnight in water with a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. This simple step helps break down compounds called phytates that can interfere with protein absorption. After soaking, cooking the beans with bay leaves and cumin further improves protein digestibility, an advantage for older digestive systems that often produce less stomach acid and digestive enzymes. To turn black beans into a true muscle-building meal, mash half of the cooked beans while leaving the other half whole, then mix them with brown rice in a 1-to-1 ratio. Together, they form a complete protein that rivals any animal source while also providing long-lasting energy. That steady fuel supply helps prevent the muscle breakdown that can occur when blood sugar drops between meals. The ideal time to eat black beans is at lunch when cortisol levels naturally dip and your body is especially ready to absorb nutrients and repair muscle tissue after the activities of the morning. Adding a squeeze of fresh lime juice and a handful of chopped cilantro does more than enhance flavor. The vitamin C in lime can boost iron absorption from the beans by as much as 400%. That iron is crucial for producing myoglobin, the protein that stores oxygen inside muscle cells and helps prevent fatigue during any form of physical activity. Black beans are already impressive on their own, but the next food on our list contains a compound so powerful it can actually help regenerate muscle stem cells. Number 4. Whole eggs. In the world of sports nutrition, the return of whole eggs is one of the most surprising turnarounds in modern nutrition science. For adults over 70, this everyday food is now proving almost miraculous for maintaining and rebuilding muscle. Researchers at the University of Connecticut showed that eating whole eggs yolks included results in about 40% greater muscle protein synthesis than eating egg whites alone, completely overturning the old idea that yolks were harmful and should be thrown away. The yolk is where most of the power lies. It supplies vitamin D omega-3 fats and a compound called phosphatidic acid that activates mTOR, the master control for muscle growth, which becomes harder to switch on as we age. In one study, scientists compared older adults who ate 3 whole eggs every day with others who got the same amount of protein from supplements. Over 12 weeks, the egg group gained nearly twice as much lean muscle mass, and to the surprise of the researchers, also improved their cholesterol profiles instead of making them worse. How you cook your eggs can be the difference between modest and exceptional muscle-building results because the cooking method changes how an aging body digests and uses the protein. For muscle growth, the best way to eat eggs is soft, boiled, or poached with firm whites and slightly runny yolks. This keeps delicate heat-sensitive vitamins intact while making the protein easy to digest for older digestive systems that produce less stomach acid. Combining eggs with a source of vitamin C, such as tomatoes or bell peppers, can increase iron absorption from the yolk by up to 300%, and that iron is critical for delivering oxygen to working muscles during any activity. Timing is just as important. Eating eggs within about 30 minutes of waking up jumpstarts muscle protein synthesis for the rest of the day by taking advantage of naturally higher growth hormone levels in the morning. You can turn this into a powerful muscle-building meal by scrambling eggs with a handful of spinach and serving them with a slice of Ezekiel bread, giving you a complete amino acid profile plus nitrates from spinach that boost blood flow, so nutrients reach your muscles more effectively than any protein powder could. Number 5. Canned sardines. At first glance, sardines hardly look like muscle food, yet these tiny fish deliver more muscle-building power per dollar than almost anything else on your plate. The evidence is especially impressive in older adults. A single can that costs a little over $1 gives you about 23 grams of complete protein, plus a high dose of vitamin D, a nutrient most adults over 70 are lacking, and that deficiency directly contributes to muscle weakness, gradual muscle loss. Researchers at the University of Western Australia saw something striking when they asked seniors to eat sardines 3 times a week. Within 2 months, participants increased their grip strength by 28%, a result that beats what many people achieve with resistance training alone. Sardines do more than supply protein. The omega-3 fatty acids in these fish calm the low-grade inflammation that stops aging muscles from using protein efficiently, so every gram of protein you eat works harder for repair and growth. How you eat sardines can further boost this effect, and one simple method works especially well for people over 70. One of the most effective options is to mash the sardines with a fork, mix them with half a mashed avocado and a squeeze of lemon juice, and spread this mixture over whole grain crackers. That combination gives you protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates in one meal, spiking insulin just enough to drive nutrients into your muscles without disrupting blood sugar. It is also important to keep the soft bones that come in the can. They are safe to chew and provide highly absorbable calcium, which is essential for strong muscle contractions and for preventing the painful cramps that many older adults experience. Timing matters too. Eating sardines within about 2 hours after any kind of physical activity, even light walking, can increase muscle protein synthesis by up to 50% compared with eating the same food at random times during the day. For many people, the strong fishy taste is the main obstacle, but it is easy to solve. Mixing sardines with bold ingredients like mustard hot sauce or capers transforms the flavor while preserving all their muscle-supporting benefits. And if you prefer frozen fish, properly thawed sardines that are gently cooked in a little olive oil can be just as effective as canned ones. If sardines feel like an unlikely hero, wait until you hear about the breakfast staple that comes next, which clinical trials show can outperform many protein shakes. Before we move on, if you have been enjoying these videos, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss future content. Number 6. Greek yogurt. Almost no one realizes this simple food is one of the fastest natural muscle builders on Earth. I would estimate 99% of people overlook it completely. The sixth most powerful muscle-building food for people over 70 is not a fancy powder, but plain Greek yogurt, and the science behind it is astonishing once you see what it does inside your body. Greek yogurt is packed with casein, a slow-releasing protein that delivers amino acids to your muscles for up to 7 hours after you eat. For older adults, that steady supply is crucial because aging muscles become more resistant to protein and need a constant flow rather than short bursts. In a study from McMaster University, adults over 70 who ate Greek yogurt every day showed something remarkable. They were able to maintain their muscle mass even during periods of reduced activity, exactly when most seniors normally lose a large amount of muscle. The secret lies in Greek yogurt's unique pairing of leucine, the amino acid that directly triggers muscle growth in older adults, and probiotics, which enhance protein absorption in a way powders cannot reproduce. Preparation and timing make a major difference in how much muscle-building benefit you get. One of the best strategies is to eat about 3/4 of a cup of plain Greek yogurt mixed with a tablespoon of honey and a handful of berries roughly 30 minutes before your main meal of the day. This timing lets the probiotics prepare your digestive system for better nutrient absorption, while the natural sugars in honey help drive the protein into your muscle cells. You can also build a powerful muscle-building parfait by layering Greek yogurt with crushed walnuts and sliced banana, adding omega-3 fats that calm inflammation and help your muscles recover and grow more efficiently. When choosing a product, go for Greek yogurt that provides at least 20 grams of protein per serving and avoid flavored versions loaded with sugar because excess sugar interferes with protein synthesis in older adults. Another little-known trick is letting your Greek yogurt sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes before eating. That short rest helps activate the live cultures and makes the protein more bioavailable for an aging digestive system. The ancient Greeks understood the strength-supporting power of this food long before modern studies. Taken together, these 6 foods signal a completely new way of thinking about building and preserving muscle after the age of 70, showing that costly supplements are unnecessary once you grasp the science behind whole food nutrition. Your muscles are not influenced by advertising slogans or attractive labels. They respond only to real nutrients delivered in forms your body can recognize and use efficiently. If what you have heard today has helped you see the true power of simple foods for muscle strength, please consider subscribing so you will not miss our upcoming videos on staying strong and healthy after 70. Thank you very much for watching.